All right, continuing on 6.3 from our first video, we're going to start in example 4 here. Tom and Lori Courtney are considering buying a house and are researching the potential cost. Their adjusted gross income is $135,511. Their monthly mortgage for the house they want would be $1,233. Their annual property taxes would be $9,400, and their insurance would be $876 annually or per year. Will the bank lend them $190,000 to purchase the house? Now, in order to do this, you should have already read in the book, but here we're talking about front-end ratio. And our front-end ratio is my monthly housing expenses divided by my monthly income. So let's break this down. First off, monthly income. I have $135,511 annually, so I need to divide that by 12 to get the monthly income, which would be $11,292.58. Now let's look at the monthly housing expenses. Well, first we know it's $1,233 for the monthly mortgage. We know that it is $9,400 divided by 12 because it is annual, plus $876 divided by 12. So the total cost there, I'm looking at $1,233 plus $783.33 plus $72.92, which gives me a total of $2,089.25. So here is my monthly housing expenses, which is $2,089.25, divided by my monthly income, which is $11,292.58. Now, if you plug that value into your calculator, and I would strongly recommend that you do, you don't want to be practicing it for the first time when you're taking a test, you end up with 0.185. And if I convert that to a decimal, it's 18.5%. And the answer to this question is yes, they would give a loan because it is below 26%. And again, from your reading, you should have seen that front-end ratio, it needs to be under 26% for them to offer the loan. And actually, sorry, it needs to be below 28%. So it is below 28%. It's a good almost 10% below that, so they're good. All right, go ahead and complete this. Press pause. When you're ready, come back. Okay, Ken and Julie Friedrich have an adjusted gross income of X dollars. They're looking at a new house. Their monthly mortgage payment would be M dollars. Their annual property taxes would be P dollars, and their annual homeowners would be H dollars expressed in the ratio algebraically. Well, it's the monthly mortgage plus the taxes as a month. Remember, it was annual, so we have to divide by 12, plus our homeowner's insurance, also divided by 12 because it is also annually. The whole thing divided by the adjusted gross income divided by 12 to get that year down to a month. All right, Bill and Terry Noki are looking at buying a house. They figure out what they can afford and what the bank will lend them. Their adjusted gross income is $166,988. Their house payment would be $1,544. Annual property taxes of $98.88. And sorry, let me get that moved back over. So $98.88. And homeowner's insurance is $1,007 per year. $510 for a car loan, and their credit card bill per month is $5,100. Will the bank lend them a loan? So now we're looking at our back end ratio. And the difference between back end and front end just looks at the monthly housing expenses. Now we're looking at our total monthly expenses when we're talking back end ratio, divided by the total monthly income. So again, first we'll take the 166,988 and we're going to divide by 12, and we find that their monthly income is $13,915.67. Now we need to add all of their monthly expenses. We have $1,544 for the mortgage, plus we have the 9,888 divided by 12, plus the 1,007 divided by 12, plus the 510, plus the 5,100. So when I calculate all of those out, I end up with 1,544 plus 824 plus 8392 plus 510 plus 5,100 for a total of monthly expenses of $8,061.92. Now, that value is the top, so it's $8,061.92 divided by, this goes on the bottom, is the $13,915.67. We're going to go ahead and divide that, and we end up with a total of 0.579 or 57.9%. And in this case, the bank will not lend because they are above 36%. You have to be below 36% in order to get a loan with the bank on your back end ratio. So they're obviously way too high. All right, go ahead, work this, press pause. When you're ready, come back. All right, it says find the back end ratio if they pay off their car and Terry gets a $12,000 raise. So looking at that, if we take the $12,000 raise, that means that he got a $1,000 raise per month. He was at $13,915.67, but now we're going to add that $1,000 in. So now we're looking at his total monthly income being $14,915.67. Now if we take our monthly bills, it was $80,61.92, and it says the car got paid off. So we're going to subtract $510 per month because that's what the car payment was. And his new total monthly expenses are now $75,51.92. If I take the $75,51.92 and divide it by the $14,915.67, I'm at 0.5063 or 50.6%. So no, the bank will still not lend to them. All right, example 6. Chris and Scott Holleran are opening a new restaurant. They take out a 6.1 15-year $300,000 mortgage on a building. They don't have a lot of money because they're spending everything they can to get that business started. So years in the future, they're going to have much more money because they know that restaurant's going to be a success. Can they get a loan that will fit well with their current and future incomes? And how much will they pay in interest for the loan? What are the monthly payments? So here we're looking at what is called an interest-only loan. Something where in the beginning, they're only paying on the interest, but at some point a balloon payment will come and they will have to pay a big chunk, but they believe because of their future income that they're going to be able to do that. So first, let's find that monthly payment. So I know that the principal is $300,000. I know that the rate is 0.061, and we're looking for a 15-year loan. So when I calculate the monthly payment in my calculator, I get $2,547.81. Make sure that you're going in and calculating it to see that you're getting the same so that you know how to get that. Step 2 is to take that monthly payment, the $2,547.81, we're multiplying it by 180 because we need to find out how much the total amount paid would be. So we're looking at $458,605.80. The next step, we're going to go ahead and subtract the principal. So we have $458,605.80 minus the $300,000. So we know that the total that they're going to pay in interest is $158,605.80. So that's this question here. How much will they pay for their interest on the loan? $158,605.80. What are the monthly payments? Well, again, we're looking at that interest-only loan. So they're only going to be paying the interest part for the first at least 179 payments. Why 179? Well, there's 180 total, so that 180th is going to have that balloon payment that they're going to need to pay. So let's take this $158,605. I'll rewrite it over here as to not get us confused. And we're going to divide it by 179 because that's how many payments they will only have to make the interest only part. And we find that their monthly payment is going to be $886.07. And on that last payment, they'll owe the rest of the balance, which will be the $300,000 in principal plus one more interest payment. So it does make quite a difference. You can see if it was a normal payment, they're looking at the $2,547.81. But if they get that interest only, they can pay less up front and more in the back when they know that they're going to have the money to be able to do that. All right, last check your understanding. Go ahead and read through this, complete it, come back when you're ready. Okay, it says the total interest on a 20-year balloon payment with a principal of P dollars is X dollars. If the interest is paid just before the final balloon payment, express the monthly payment before the balloon payment algebraically. Well, I know it's just simply taking the principal and it's dividing it by 239. How did I get that? 20 years worth of payments at 12 months every year. There's going to be 240 payments. I'm talking all but the last payment. So I'm looking at taking that monthly principal, dividing it by those number of payments, and that's how much we will owe. And that's it for 6.3. Good job, everyone.